Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with the cooking classic herself, Sandy
Oh,
Reevy.
nice alliteration there.
It is episode 351, week of April 14th. Let's get right into it. In the transits, we have April 16th, Wednesday, Mercury ingress Aries,
World news, question mark.
and Mercury conjunct Neptune.
Third pass.
April 17th, Thursday, Mars ingress Leo.
Regaining your light.
Saturday the 19th, Sun ingress Taurus,
Bullish.
and Mars trine Neptune.
Believe in what you can do.
Then Sandy's favorite day, April 20th, Sunday, Venus sextile Uranus,
Open-hearted on Easter Sunday.
and Mercury sextile Pluto,
Courage to do it.
and Sun square Mars.
Give more than you take.
Then on the horizon, we have our Patreon community. We would love for you to sign up because we have a very special webinar we just finished up, Neptune and Aries, what is happening pretty much the first time in 160 years. Then we have our Venus cazimi Talisman workshop and an upcoming Talisman trunk show. Then in our house, I have a 10-minute mini meditation for you for Taurus season. So stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one, you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you, the story.
Hello, the cooking classic herself.
I know it. I'm had this one cookbook out that has been in my cabinet, much less the, I don't know, 50 cookbooks that I have in my storage unit that I haven't seen in about 21 years. So wait till I get in there and get some of those.
Yeah.
No, it's been fun. I made 3 recipes this week, and you'll taste them all.
Yay. Yeah, I'm excited. That cornbread sounds quite nice.
Homemade basil cornbread.
hmm
Yeah.
I'm excited. All right. So hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us today. It is episode 351. Let's get right into it. In the transits, we start the week off with Wednesday, April 16th, Mercury ingress Aries.
So Mercury's heading back across the world point. Mercury is still in shadow. He is direct. He is crossing from 29 Pisces into 0 Aries at 1:25 a.m. on this Wednesday. And lucky, Wednesday is Mercury's day, but he's moving across the world point. So really, he is in charge of news, discussions, journaling, journalism. So he's also in charge of negotiations and trade.
Mm,
Trade. Interesting that our
very.
trade war, he went retrograde, the trade wars began. In
Mm,
Aries. Aries is the sign, is the bull-headed, or I say ram-headed,
hmm
um, sign of war, of aggression. And so he's heading back in there for the third and final time across this. So we're going to hear some news. And is there a resolution to this trade war?
hmm
It's been volatile. It's when Mercury goes into Pisces, and it retrograded back into Pisces, and it's hilarious because I have Mercury in Pisces, but for the world, and it was kind of like this, I don't know, maybe this, I don't know, it's kind of morphing, right? It was wobbling. The
hmm
tariffs are getting put on, then they're taken off, then they're delayed, then they're postponed, and then they're added to, then they're decreased. And it's just kind of like Mercury and Pisces, not sure the scope of the matter. So now here, Wednesday the 16th, Mercury leaves the Pisces, this, go with the flow kind of feeling, unsure. and goes back into this heated. So are there heated debates or is there a resolution? And the reason why I say resolution is because typically us astrologers, when we see a third time because of a retrograde position, that third time usually means a resolution, like a finality, a conclusion, a completion of something that had been happening. Now, I think instead of it being back and forth, I think it may be for the next, say, 20 to 30 days might be more forceful because he's not retrograde anymore and he's coming back in. So we're going to hear world news here.
Okay.
Could
All
be,
right.
yeah.
Apparently we haven't had enough world news. Let's have some more. So
Yeah,
same day,
same day. Yeah.
same day we have Mercury
Yeah.
conjunct Neptune.
Yeah, and this is again at 0 Aries. Neptune, we just did that whole webinar, which is phenomenal. It was an hour and 20 minutes of incredible good information that Susan Goodell, the financial astrologer, brought a lot of the finance, her toolbox of financial astrology and what she's watching and has been watching for all these years up into this point. And she didn't know what Neptune would be. I mean, she did know because she's watching graphs for the last 200 years, but she also didn't know why it would come about. And here we are in the trade wars, and that's why this has come about. And that's why the money is fluctuating quite a bit now in the markets.
Right.
But anyway, so this Mercury, moves in to Aries and immediately hits up with Neptune for the third and final pass. And I want to quote from Stephen Forrest here, who we watched a series of webinars about Neptune. And he writes, I quote, "Someday we will wake up from this dream." And I'm asking, is it today, folks?
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to Thursday, April 17th, Mars ingress Leo.
Yeah, regaining your light. I mean, Mars is in a fire sign. Mars does not rule Leo, but from the vantage point, let's say, of a fire sign, he can see his Aries. So Mars likes being in a fire sign. He was in detriment when he was in Cancer, and that's where
right, because that's like a water sign.
Quite a bit. And it's a water sign, but he's in his fall here, fall in Cancer because he's exalted in Capricorn. And the opposite of Capricorn is
Cancer.
Yeah. So that he's in his fall. If he's highly exalted here on a pedestal and he goes to the opposite place, he's fallen down a well.
Got it.
He does not like being in Cancer.
So now from Cancer, Mars moves into Leo.
Yeah. So he's out of his fall and he's into the fire where he likes, right? So he's here. First of all, he was here in early November of last year before he went retrograde. So memories return for a clearance report. In other words, you might have to pull up some things. Again, Mars is, he's the planet that retrogrades the least amount, and he retrogrades for like 70 days, a long period of time. So it's kind of like now he's ready to report and go. It's like he can advance now. So this is good news for a lot of people that have Aries sun, Aries rising sign, right? So fit and able. Yep. Regaining your light.
All right. That does sound exciting and exhilarating.
And it's, it's also Good Friday. So it's interesting that, Good Friday, God has laid into put on the cross and laid in the tomb.
So let's move on to April 19th, Saturday, Sun ingress Taurus.
Right.
Happy birthday to all you Taurians.
Yeah, this is 2:56 p.m., so it's, smack in the middle of the day. This is bullish, right? Just because
Mm-hmm.
it's a bull, right? Charge ahead, but fixed, very fixed. So this will be a good time to start, yes, planting your seeds. You can get pretty much guarantee at this point um, that your seeds will grow
Mm.
in the earth.
Yay. That's perfect. All right, so still the same day, Saturday, April 19th, Mars trine Neptune.
Yeah, believe in what you can do. This is fire, and Mars is in that fire sign Leo, and looking at Neptune, which is also in a fire sign, which Mars rules, Aries. So it's like believe what you can do and take others along with you on your creative journey. It's LEAD, lead, not lead. Mars does rule lead.
Mm-hmm.
And Neptune's in Aries, so there is something about lead or steel or something. So instead of lead, lead.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. And I mean, believing in what you can do because I've always loved this quote, but it just recently came back to me in a podcast when I reheard it, and I was like, yeah, I forgot about that one. Because whether or not, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're absolutely right. So believe in what you can do, because believing in what you can't do, you're going to be right.
Yeah.
So be right in what you can do and keep the can do attitude and keep your belief in it. Because
Right.
yeah, we do get this one life, and either we just don't believe that we can do anything and you can stay there and hopefully you're happy there. But if you do believe that you can, then go and do it.
I mean, our souls did not come into earthly matter to live a hard life. Yes, we have challenges, we have scenarios, we have situations, we have accidents, we have, the thing called love that puts us
Mhm.
in opens up our hearts and creates that emotional wounding sometimes. But we're to experience and always go in the true belief of what we can do.
Mhm.
All right. So yeah, that's a good point.
All right. Let's move on to Sunday and also your favorite day of the month. That's April 20th, Venus sextile Uranus.
So yeah, this is the third and final pass, and I called this the open-hearted. We've got Venus, you know, 25 degrees of Pisces, where she's exalted, looking to an opportunistic vision of Uranus in her home sign. So really creating something that kind of infuses or exalts your Venus, your open heart. So to be inspiring and different and individualized love. What can you fall in love with today?
Mm.
And
Yeah,
it's
that's
Easter
beautiful.
Sunday.
Yeah, and it's Easter. Happy
How
Easter.
about
And
how about
if you're
falling
spending it
in?
with your family or,
Yeah. How about
maybe it's something you
rest?
don't celebrate, but Easter's always nice.
Yeah.
It's a it's a symbolic theme of spring and the renewing of the seasons, the cycles.
Life. Hmm.
hmm So let's move on to still Sunday, Mercury sextile Pluto.
Right. So this is also the third pass. These are two personal planets, Venus and Mercury, that are on the move, and they're moving forward. And that means they're finishing up the third pass of whatever they've, transited in any of the Ptolemaic aspects while they were retrograding. And so this is like courage, the courage to do that, the courage to be powerful, satisfied, and impactful. Right. This is, do you use a word? Mercury is about words. Do you encourage someone? Do you make a statement? Um, this is kind of like revelry, like we can do it kind of attitude.
Hmm.
So like, Saturdays believe in what you can do, and then Sunday is the courage to do it. Nice feed, right?
Right.
Nice, nice, nice. because these planets are hitting Neptune, Pluto, in the natal sky, or not in the natal sky, in the transit sky, in the current sky.
Right.
So, when personal planets become aspected to outer planets, there is like an enduring theme, like something that resonates for a wah, 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 like a drum beat.
Vibration. Yeah. All right. So, and then the final transit of the week on Sunday is Sun square Mars.
So this is, 8:30 p.m. So Sun is in Taurus, we just discovered, and making that square to Mars that just went back into Leo. Well, give more than you take. Sun is responsible for the Leo Mars, right? Because Sun rules Leo, where Mars is visiting. And so your light shines best when you smile. You can give your light to others. So it's best not to gimme, 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 and really, share. And so a smile can go a long way. And again, it's Easter again. So it is my favorite day of the month.
Yes. And also, just as a quick reminder, there are no planets retrograde for 3 weeks until May 4th. So yay, keep going for those goals that you have. Keep putting yourself in action. And yeah, maybe do it. Believe that you can do it. Be open-hearted. Have the courage to do it and give more than you take. I like that progression a lot.
Yeah.
And don't forget that you can follow along with these transits. You can download your natal chart on our website and also the astrology guide if you want a little bit more information for what the symbols mean. Let's move on to the horizon, where we've just finished up the Neptune and Aries Chatting with the Stars webinar. And wow, it was, I've already forwarded this over to, friends saying like, yeah, this is a big account, like a big monumental difference.
It's a massive change. One of, let's say, 4 massive changes that are occurring in a 2-year span. So yeah, chaos, change, unawareness of what is going on, how to guarantee it. Nope, all out the window. There's no guarantee right now, other than you participating in your own way about what is it can you do, kind of like what you say. I can do it. I have to believe I can do it and not do it.
Right.
If that's not open to me anymore, because a lot of people are getting that deny button or the goodbye button, that, well, I can't do that, but what can I do?
Right. Huge. It's a big, big perspective shift. And sometimes we just need that, because if we get into that why me or victimhood attitude, it's very hard to rewrite the script. So start off with a positive attitude of, all right, what's next? If this isn't for me anymore, then what's next for me? Because we can always step into the new change. So yes, it was a really brilliant webinar. Sandy and Susan came together and gave a bunch of dates, a lot of historical, what has happened in Neptune and Aries historically, maybe what that means if you have that in your own natal chart, and some practical tools on what to do in the future. So yes, sign up on Patreon. This webinar is free to anyone with Big Dipper and above memberships. So head over to patreon.com/chattingwiththestars.
Because it's worth your time. Once you become a Big Dipper for $30 a month, you can have our entire library of webinars that we have done, correct?
Yes.
Plus the one we just did that we're talking about, Neptune and Aries. But then in June, we got another one coming up, Saturn in Aries coming up.
Okay.
We got
This
one
is a
in
lot of
June.
action
And then in
oriented.
July, we have one coming up that's Uranus in Gemini.
Okay.
So yeah,
Big shifts.
there are several webinars coming in because there's so much going on. Then we are going to talk about at some point in the fall another webinar on the combination of Saturn and Neptune coming together at 0 degrees of Aries. They get very, 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 very close this year, but they don't cross one another until January of 2026. So we're going to get you ready for that in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah, astrologically, it is people that maybe never has paid attention to astrology. There is no
better time.
they need to have a reason and an answer and have a little bit more reasonable, maybe that's like a common sense of why is all this happening in the world? Why is all this chaos? Why is everything going round in circles like it's going down the tubes?
Yep.
Yeah, astrology.
Yes. And don't forget that you can also check out our Venus Cazimi Sun Talisman workshop. That was a very feminine forward, heart forward workshop that you get to write your affirmation and have a talisman that was made during that transit. So we'd also love for you to check that out. And that webinar comes with your talisman. So you'll be able to know all of the information plus your personalized reports as well. So also coming up May 7th, we have a talisman trunk show. Those invites will be going up soon. So make sure that you're on our email list. Head over to intentionbeads.com and you will be scroll to the bottom and you'll be able to see where you can sign up for our mailing list if you're not there already. And then 2025 Tuscany, if you're interested, we have a retreat coming up October 4th to the 11th, and that is the Italy retreat, Tuscany, Italy. It's going to be absolutely breathtaking.
Oh my gosh, staying in an 800-year-old, sleeping for a week, walking around at night. It's magical.
Yes.
It's like you've never had a feeling like this before. Unless you've been to other castles.
Right. Yes. It sounds fantastical. So I do have that link in the description if you are interested. And don't forget that you can get a free 15-minute call with Sandy to discuss any questions that you have about the retreat. So without further ado, let's join into our final segment of the episode in our house, where I have a very special mini meditation for you for Taurus season. So shall we get started? If you can get into a nice, comfortable place, this is a really wonderful, relaxing meditation. So make sure that you're not hurried. So if you're on your way to work if you're kind of multitasking, maybe pause here and then pick it back up once you have a moment to relax. So without further ado, let's get this going. We're going to begin a passive meditation, so there's no more actions you need to take. During this short meditation, you will simply be laying or sitting still and silent. I ask you to listen, open your awareness to the moment, and maintain a sense of inner peace for yourself. I've recorded this Taurus meditation in one of my favorite parks in Chicago. Nestled beside the lakeshore is a bird sanctuary, so you will hear the sounds of the beautiful birds, as well as the bird watchers walking along the pathway, and some city sounds like airplanes overhead approaching for landing. Use this meditation to accept yourself as you are now, to find what you're grateful for, or to simply enjoy. Let's begin. When we find a moment for stillness, it is easy to find things to be grateful for. It is the slowing down that allows our awareness to broaden, our ears to open, and our peace to surround us. As you lay here, take a moment to think of one thing you're grateful for today. Hold that thing, person, or experience. Hold it with you here within the stillness. And once you're ready, you can loosen your attention, allow your mind to wander, while still feeling that sense of gratitude in your heart. I'll leave you here for a few moments and meet back with you at the end of the meditation. And as you come back into the room, you can make some small movements with your fingers and toes, waking up your arms and legs, and waking up your full body with a nice, juicy stretch. One way we can integrate gratitude into our busy lifestyles is by taking in our surroundings. These types of mindful meditations will help you focus on the present, to notice and appreciate the little things we generally take for granted. Thank you for joining me for another astrology meditation. I'll see you next time. Well, everybody, that is a wrap on our episode today. Thank you so much for listening in, and we will talk to you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one, you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you, the story of you. The story of you, the